Some wind-up combos. Luckily for you guys, I own this deck IRL, so you're going to be seeing it IRL. This is 9,300 points of damage. If you're learning wind-ups, this is the most important combo to know. It comes up quite a lot, and the combinations of cards that get you there also come up quite a lot. Now, you're probably thinking, Mika, this is 3 cards. One of these cards is limited, you need 2 copies of the same thing. No way does this come up, it comes up all the time. The reason being is because of a little card called Wind Up Factory. This searches every card in your deck, and I mean that literally. It searches every single one of them. Not just any card, but all of them, all 11. This card in conjunction with Wind Up Rabbit is just your full combo, right? You can just summon this, search for your first combo piece, next turn he returns, search for your second combo piece, and then hey, this is also the full combo. Because this card, on the turn that we're popping off, can just act as the last shark, you can just search it. Now, what is the actual combo? Well, if we just have these 3, you can do 9,300 points of damage. So you can activate this, summon this, and if they solemn, they have to solemn kind of when it's hovering above the field. The moment they say, I don't have solemn, or summon successful, then you have to reveal this straight away. If they want a torrential or something, they have to do it after you reveal this. You have to reveal this immediately. Anyway, we reveal it, it gets summoned, and then both of these effects will trigger. Chaining 1, chaining 2, this is going to search for another shark. This is going to summon Wind Up Rat, and it has to summon it in defense position. Which sucks, because we can't use Rat effect if it's in defense position. Well, there's an XYZ for that. Photon Papal Operative. This guy, detach 1, put this back in attack. And now we can use our Rat effect. Rat's going to get back the Magician, and hey, we just summoned a Wind Up monster. We can reveal this from our hand and summon it again. And then hey, we just activated a Wind Up effect so we can use Magician again. He was just summoned from the graveyard, so his effect is refreshed. He's all wound up again. And he's going to get us Rabbit. Rabbit can then go off, and we can banish our Magician. And then we can XYZ these into Levia. Levia, doesn't matter what you detach. Get back Magician, we're going full aggro, we're putting him in attack position. We can then use Shark's effect to change level. Let's make him level 5. Magician will go off again. Remember, he was just summoned from banished, so we get to use his effect again. And get another shark! Incredible! Make him a level 5, stack him, and if I can find the right XYZ, this guy attacks twice. That means that this is 9,300 damage. 9,300. 9,300. Big push. If they have a large monster instead of this, you can make something like a Volcasaurus, and then you can stack it into a Gaia Charger. That's going to be a lot of damage, it depends on how big their monster is, obviously. But that's probably the easiest way to OTK. Now, there is a slightly different variant of this. This requires 2 sharks. In the event that one of these is in your graveyard, instead of making the Levia, you can make an Invoker. That means that we won't get to summon the Magician, but we can use the Invoker effect to summon Wind Up Warrior. Now, some people don't play Warrior. I put him in and out of decks, he can be bricky at times, but he's also kind of useful. Like in this situation, which lets you do a similar thing. Sadly, this is only, I think, 8,700? 8,500? Can't quite remember. But it doesn't let you attack, it doesn't let you OTK through an upstart goblin, which kind of sucks, but it's still, like, a lot of damage. So whether or not you play the Warrior for this sort of scenario is up to you. Warrior's got some other nice interactions. So one of the things you can do with Warrior is, if you just got a Rat, you can bring back your Warrior, and then that's a rank 4. It's quite nice. It also lets you Diamond Dire through a Gozen match, which also can be quite nice. But Wind Up Rat has a lot more uses. You don't ever really want to see Rat in opening turns when you don't have Wind-Ups in the graveyard. But sort of late game, this guy really comes online. And maybe at some point, you had a Wind Up Rabbit, you either detached it or it just died. Well, we can summon the Rat and bring back the Rabbit. And this is the Rat-Rabbit loop. It's not like an infinite loop, but it's going to help us generate card advantage, stall out the game, just kind of build your own Treeborn Frog. Because we can use Rabbit to banish Rat, and then on their turn they summon a monster, they kill a Rabbit. On our standby phase, this guy's going to come back, and we can just use it again to bring back the Rabbit. Sort of tag this out, block some damage, and at some point, we might be lucky and draw this, which is going to help us get towards more combo pieces. Remember, when this returns, it's not our normal summon. So if you draw into another Rat or any wind-up monster, you can, well, if you draw into any wind-up monster, we can just normal summon this, and then start making XYZ instead, right? So we can banish this and then make an acid golem. And this trades with something, this comes back, and then we normal summon another monster. So it's not just build your own Trueborn Frog. If you just keep normal summoning a guy, you can just keep making XYZs, which is substantially stronger than Trueborn Frog. Anyway, at some point when you're sort of doing these loops, you might just draw into this card, or this card. If you draw into this, and we've got the rabbit in graveyard, maybe we also have a wind-up shark in graveyard. If we have shark, you can OTK again, which is quite strong. So this is going to return from banished, and we top deck the magician, right? We can just normal summon it. Use this effect, bring back the shark, and the magician's going to go off. And magician's effect is going to summon another wind-up rat. We can then stack these into the Photon Papal Operative, if I can find it. Here we go. Detach, put this back in attack, and then we can bring back this. Then we can stack these into an Invoker. This is one of the many OTKs that involves Invoker. And if I can find it in my 15 card extra deck, here we go. We can detach, get back the Warrior. Warrior's effect makes either itself or Magician level 5, doesn't really matter. Get out Shark. Shark's effect makes itself a 5. Stack these, just destroying my board here. And stack it again into this. And this should look quite familiar. This is very similar to the board before we had Levia, now we've got the Invoker, to the previous OTK. And I believe this is again 8,500 or 700. I'll have it on screen here. Right here. Another OTK, and all that started this really was a shark in graveyard, a top deck magician, and a rat that was already in circulation, right? So just top decking this one card can suddenly spam out a huge explosive board. That's some of the many combos of wind-ups. Oftentimes you don't really get to choose what extra deck monsters you make, though there are some extra deck interactions that, now that I have the time, I will just explain. So a really cool thing you can do with either while you're looping or with just the rabbit is if you can make a diamond direwolf. He's got, I don't know, 2 materials, maybe 2 sharks, beneath the diamond dire. Normally he just targets himself, which is kind of sucky. But you can detach, target rabbit, and one of their cards. Blow up their card and just tag out your rabbit. And then you've gone +1 off their destruction. Some more interactions that you can do is something that came up earlier today for me actually, was making Abyss Dweller and Acid Golem. Now these are things that any deck can do, but wind-up's especially good at just spitting out multiple XYZs. And one way, probably the only way that this deck can really easily out Leo, is some combination of summon rat, get back this, and then maybe 2 sharks, or maybe we have some other level 4 on board, stack these 2 and these 2, and then you make the Dweller and this guy, and then this is 3,500. This comes up not super often, but it's good to know about this interaction. Another thing you can do is this deck can make Nightmare Shark quite easily. Nightmare Shark plus, well, either an Acid Golem or, if you're lucky enough, a Shark Fortress. This can target this, and then this can attack directly twice for 4,000. There are a lot of sort of nice things that you can do when you have access to 15 cards and any 2 of them, right? While this has come to my attention, I will just bring it up. Excite Knight isn't something you summon that often in this deck. Mostly because of, well, with Factory you just have so many cards in hand, but it's actually quite difficult to lose cards such that you can activate Excite Knight. But one way to get this off quite nicely is just with Rabbit, right? If you're sort of kind of even, maybe you can lose a card here or there. You're going to lose a card in making your Excite Knight, and then you can just suddenly banish your board, Excite on everything else, because we now have less cards. And then all of the stuff we banish, maybe we banish multiple things with multiple rabbits. They're all going to come back, and that's a really nice advantage swing. I think that's it for all the core wind-up combos. There's not really much else to recommend or say, but it is a deck that you will have to grind a lot with. Try and internalize at least the Magician Shark ODK, and you should be on your way to becoming a wind-up master. Until next time, Vegas players, stay groovy.